Welcome, everyone,
I
to
know.
Everyday Black Men. We have R. Reed, Prince of all Earthlings. Also, Armstead could not be here today, but DJ Almight joins us once again. Also, we have the wretched Val Vivian
Okay, I'm
Riker,
here.
Riker to join us for a blasted conversation.
I'm impressed.
Yes, let's start the show. Yes.
Oh man. Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Everyday Black Men Podcast. As you heard from Vegeta, was it R. Reed or was it Prince Vegeta R. Reed? Either way it
Ari,
goes. Okay, R. Reed. Sorry, don't want to step on nobody's toes. But we have a special episode. We know it's been really political recently, and everyone wants to kind of escape from that shit because we're starting to get numb. So on this one, we're gonna tell stories and just kind of bullshit for an hour or so. And hope you guys really love it. If you don't, I mean, sucks for you. But for the rest of us, we're gonna enjoy it. So the question is, Ari, do you want me to answer the question that you asked off pod earlier now?
yes.
Okay, the past 48 hours for Riker. Okay, so I decided I was going to change my brakes. It was, a small, light work, nothing hard. Got everything ready to go, started working on stuff. The niggas across the street were working on their cars too, and it was quite possibly the most annoying thing I've ever had because when I'm working on something, they dropping shit. When I'm dropping shit, they working on something. It just sounds like we're two competing garages and that shit don't flow right. But
What?
I ended up getting done with all my brakes and I try to start my car and it won't start. So my car literally fucking dies in my garage. Now, luckily, Stylish was in the area due to him doing some moving and some stuff like that. So Stylish came through, hooked your boy with the jump. I went to AutoZone. I get there, my fucking hood went open. So I spent 10 minutes with the guy who's just like, man, you're just having kind of a day. I'm like, yeah, I'm having kind of a day. So we finally get the hood open up the battery terminals. The positive terminal looks like cancer. The shit is green and blue and just completely 10 shades of fucked up. The guy does everything possible to help me out, but he's like, bro, this terminal's probably done. I'm like, it probably is. But he manages to get the terminal off. It looks like cancer. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let me get a battery terminal thing. And he's like, yeah, you'll be able to fix it. Get that part of the transaction done, get back to my place, take my battery apart, and when I'm trying to help with the positive terminal thing, it snaps. So now I got no fucking positive terminal. My car's in my driveway, and I'm trying everything possible to get the part that's still left on there off so I can get back on my car and be able to hook up the battery that I just bought and a jerry rig to get home. I actually ended up having to call my mother, which I hate calling my mother for anything. Nothing against mom. It's just, she's recovering from some things. So I try not to stress her immune system because she doesn't have any. Get to Walmart, get in there. The girl's like, cool, you can do whatever. I get all the things that I need from there. I think, all right, cool, I got WD 40, I've got wrenches. I tried for like 4 hours working on my car last night. Could not get shit done. Ended up, and the next morning, called Stylish. Stylish and me, we get a nut splitter, try splitting the goddamn thing. It won't fucking split. At this point in time, I've been to Walmart, I've been to one hardware store, and having to call my mom again. Go to Home Depot. Luckily, she had some returns, so I was able to get that taken care of. Get back to my place, try the hacksaw method. I'm not sitting here on goddamn parole for the next 30 years trying to hacksaw this shit. So I ended up using an actual saw that I bought as well because I'm not stupid and, I was trying to plan for at least three different scenarios. That shit gets done, but now the way that the metal has fused together. So I have the complete nut taken off and I'm missing the ability to separate things manually. Now I'm gonna keep trying to like cut a little piece here, cut a little piece there, but As the last 48 hours, I've had no car, none whatsoever. I've been trapped at home, and now I can see why niggas kill people. That's been my story.
What kind of car do you drive?
Toyota Camry, because I'm economical and safe.
All right. What year?
2015.
I mean, I was asking just because I know me personally, I'm one of the few that I let my cars get 5, no more than 6 years old before I upgrade. And I don't mean upgrade by like getting something flashy. I just get like another version of it or something else that's on that same platform. Like I purposely have never paid more than I think my Jeep. No, my Infinity, which I traded in for my Jeep, was the most expensive car I had, and I only paid like I think it was only like 23 when I got it. It was on a year old, but I don't. Yeah, I only traded it in. I only had it for like 6, 7 months. Only reason I traded it in is when I moved over here to South Carolina and this rural ass area where deers jump out like fucking every day. I didn't feel safe because that bitch goes. It was a what was it? A Q50.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that bitch goes.
yeah, it goes. It had the twin, the turbo, the sport mode, all that. Like I didn't even know I was doing 89% of the time. Like when I'm driving, and I didn't feel safe in that bitch driving. To work and back, 30 minutes back and forth. So I went back to my old favorite, which was a Jeep. The reason I asked is I wanted to jump into the question of do you all fall into that ritual? Do you go ahead and just hold the car until own it and until it breaks, or you can pass it down, or do you know do you keep upgrading like I do? Like even if I paid it off after I start having to do what you're doing, once I start getting extensive maintenance, all right, you have to go, which is how I got to the Infinity. Like,
Oh
literally.
man.
That seems kind of wasteful
No, it
in a
ain't because
way.
once I got to start putting more money in it, I'm annoyed now. Like, and I also feel like, because I could have 2 cars, a work car and a home car, but I feel like that's a waste of money, like some people do have. But also because this is my primary means to get into how I support myself, my primary income.
Okay.
So that's why I do that with my cars.
There
I
was
don't
the
want
part
my
where you said when it was already paid off. That's the part I
even
was
when it's
like,
paid off, like because I don't need two
you can't be
cars.
spending no more than $800 a year on that car if it's paid off.
Yeah, but if I'm relying on it to go to and from work, and then all of a
No,
sudden
I'm
this
talking about
monthly
as a
have to.
second car. As a second car.
Oh no, I don't want a second car because
Okay.
I got a four. Then I got someone like I move across the country a lot. That's a burden in itself. Getting 2 cars or 3 in our case. From
Yeah,
every
it is. It is a bit. It is a bit to transport them bad boys. I
Well,
watched someone
cars are
do that.
pretty much worthless, so I agree with you to some extent.
yeah. Like, but the only reason I don't upgrade just to upgrade. Like I literally this is how I get to and from work. It's a decent car. It ain't flashy. Like that's that's how I operate. I know folks that get the fucking the car of their dreams. It's your money, your prerogative. Uh,
So what was
I
before the Qfinity? The
I
Q50?
had Altima. I had the man thought car.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was about to say. I was like, I'm
yeah.
sensing a pattern here because when you said
No,
Jeep Cherokee, that's educated thought. When you said
well,
Qfinity, that's
what's
flashy
funny?
thought.
What's funny is I traded in a Jeep Grand Cherokee to get the Altima when I got it. So I, I keep the pattern going. Like I don't change it up. And then when I do reach, when I reward myself with progression in career. So when
Mhm.
I reach my next nugget domestically, because I made this when I was overseas, but when I make it here, I plan on upgrading to the Jeep SRT or that the one that's above it. The one G Herbo's girl gave him. Like I didn't know that existed until I saw it, and I'm like, I want that. Like
I
I
mean,
instantly wanted
that's
it.
not a bad move. That's not a
But
bad move.
that to me is what I consider to be, to some folks, that's their fucking Lexus RC, what is that, RC30 or some shit like that? I can't remember,
Hmm.
but they get the luxury car. After owning a semi-luxury car and even seeing people with luxury cars, I don't give a fuck about luxury car. And then
I
they're
mean,
cracked.
you don't sound like a car person. You just, as soon as you say A to B, I'm just like, oh, he probably don't care that much about cars.
No, no. I mean, I care about performance and shit. That's why I got the Infinity when I got it because it was affordable and what it provided, and the specs. Because I could have got the four all-wheel drive one, which is ridiculously, what it was pulling like three. I think it was almost 400 horses on that one. But I
Yeah,
raced
something like that.
in mine, in the one that I had, the Sport, uh, or the Lux. I had the Lux. I was giving Mustang GT the business on in Dallas. I didn't know we were doing 128 miles per hour until I noticed we were doing 128 miles per hour, and I let them go. But I wasn't even flooring it in sport mode, and I was giving them business. So this is when I was like, I don't need one of these cars because something's wrong with me. That's why I don't ride bikes. Because even when I learned how to ride a bike, I learned on the fucking Ninja ZX 1500, and I knew I don't need one of these because I'm gonna die.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Cars may not
I
just be
mean,
your thing. I mean, I don't know.
correct.
I like Riker. He's not a car person. Like I like. A matter of fact, I asked him, what was your dream car?
Oh, my dream car is very simple. It's just getting a Lexus, so it's just a fancier Toyota.
You can go to
I'd
Magic
love an
City and get a
Acura.
Lexus.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a basic luxury car. It's like luxury cars for people who are dads. It's a
Yeah,
dad luxury car.
that's a dad luxury car for sure.
Oh,
I mean, Acura if you want to be flashy, but the problem with the Acura is you have the same problem as your Infinity. Is like that. I drove an Acura once and knew I couldn't get this car because I'd be whipping it all
Yeah,
over town.
it's like the performance of those shits are like it's a low key car, but goddamn, like, and
Hmm.
this is before even tweaking it, which I'm too lazy to do. I even commend you on change your brakes. I learned how to do all that when I had my '95 Buick Park Ave in 2006. But nah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm that motherfucker. I ain't doing no more maintenance on any of my car unless I got to change a tire on the side of the road. I don't care.
Well, I completely understand. Like for me, it's just a knowing the parts that I'm using kind of thing. And actually, ironically, the brakes were the one thing that worked very well. Um, but for me, I take pride in knowing that I know exactly what kind of oil I'm using. I know exactly when this was changed. I know exactly what kind of spark plugs. And it's not just me depending on some niggas, who you always trust niggas until the first time they fuck up, and then you don't trust them again. But depending on how they fuck up, you may not be able to come back to not trust them.
Yeah, I mean, I've even escalated or elevated to just going to the dealer. Like I want
wow.
I like
Wow, the
but
stealership.
this is why. All right, like before I joined the military, my last job was working at Pep Boys. Um, and I
Oh
remember
yeah, I would not go.
but
Oh shit.
I know the quality of mechanics they put in some of these places,
Oh yeah.
and
Oh yeah. There's
that
definitely levels to it. Like with everything.
exactly. And
Like you
then
can't buy a Infinity and think, or sorry, buy a Honda and think that, oh, it's gonna perform like an Audi, and it's like, I mean,
right.
but sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, and like I started doing the whole. I know how much the parts cost. I know how we operate behind the counter and looking up the parts. It tells you each tier of what quality part you want and everything. And then you learn about labor. Labor costs this many hours, that many hours. Shit, let me see. Do I want to give this man $100 for giving me 3 hours of labor, or do I want to go? Well, usually what labor's like $60 an hour or something like that, depending on where you're at. 80 at the most that I've seen. But if I got to spend 8 hours doing it myself compared to them doing it for 4, and I just got to get picked up and dropped off, I'd rather just pay these motherfuckers. It's kind of like getting your shit delivered from Walmart. It's only $17 more to get somebody else to do all the work and bring the shit to my door. Like so, I'm Americanized like all shit when it comes to all these things
I think
now.
that kind
Because
of depends on the individual. Because my dad, there was certain things that he said he just wouldn't do. Because I was like, why won't you just change your oil? Really takes about 15 minutes for anybody to change most oil on standard cars. I mean, if
Correct.
that. And
yeah,
he said, I work 40 hours a week. I'm not gonna change my God.
that too, that too.
I mean, I feel you, Dad, on that. I mean, for me, change the oil, it's one of those things where it's like I like being able to know and verify what's being put in there, but it literally takes 15 minutes. And I mean, 5 of those minutes is going up and down from the ramps. And the
Uh,
other 10 is basically just waiting for things to drain, adding new shit back, of course, putting on your filter and making sure that you change that out. Because I can't believe sometimes when people bring up those videos of like, I'm a dealership mechanic, look at this filter. And it's like somebody whose filter was changed like a decade ago. It's like, how, Sway? How did your car function? And it's always a Honda or Toyota. And it's like, all right, well, yeah. It also reminds me of a dealership friend I used to have who he would try to kill Toyotas whenever he would have a party. So he would put a Toyota up on a lift. He
mhm.
would drain all the oil out that bitch and then start it up and just see if he could kill it before the end of the party. And a crazy ass guy too, because he would put a brick on it so the engine is being stressed as well. But he only managed to kill like one or two out of the like 20 times he did it.
That's that Ferris Bueller shit.
Exactly. It's like this is called I have too much money and I have nothing else to spend it on but to basically style
Well,
on you niggas.
I honestly relate to Ari's pops, man, because I think I didn't mind doing this shit when I didn't like work as hard mentally that I do
Mm.
as I do now, and we all know what it's like to like just embrace that downtime and not feel like doing shit that we don't have to do. And I mean, I commend you for doing it. Like you want to know and be sure. That's probably why I go to the high. I go to a dealer. The not any of them. I'll go to specifically to one that has the
Oh
best
yeah,
rating,
oh yeah.
just so I
Can't be
know.
everybody.
Because I ain't going to the hood shopping. Plus, I remember growing up in Chicago, my mom having that. Well, every hood got that one nigga whose hands is always dirty, like he just fixed on the car. That
Yep.
always was fixing everybody's car, but everybody's car wasn't good long term.
Yeah,
So
exactly. I mean, he got you on the short term fix. Now,
yeah,
if you need this shit long term, I mean, that's a different story now. That's a
like
different
he was
story.
affordable, but I mean, you add these visits up.
I mean,
So
yeah, you add these visits up, it would have been cheaper to go dealership. But in the week to week basis, hood nigga got you taken care of.
the other thing is I storing the materials. I have a 2-car garage, but we put both cars in that bitch.
Oh yeah, that's not a
So
problem that I have. So I got
yeah.
plenty of room. Plus, I mean, my garage was made back, when we made garages for cars and things and stuff. So
Oh
we're
yeah, you
good.
had that Tim the
This
Tool
this
Man garage.
exactly, yeah. I got the tool man garage because it got the whole back area that you can put a whole bench. Now my
See,
garage isn't as good as one of my neighbors. That man has a tool bench, a TV setup, lounge chairs, and somehow fits 2 cars in there. I'm like, why didn't I get that garage, nigga?
yeah, you should be ashamed of yourself being in Georgia. I forgot. Y'all I still get jealous of y'all square footage.
Oh yeah, our square footage is something that people hate. And we like, oh, how do you guys have that? It's like, well, we live in Georgia. I mean, it's now a blue state, so I mean, y'all ain't got no excuse no more about being like, oh, I come to Georgia, but it's a red state. I mean, there's still gonna be plenty of guns, and gun laws are still not gonna be equal. But I mean, if we did it once, we could do it again. So bring your asses here so we can even out this blue wave that y'all supposedly want to be part of.
Oh my god. I am actually happy not to talk politics for a long time. Speaking of which, did you see? I don't even want to go into it. It's not a political thing, but it was a tweet that Biden put out saying they can't because Trump's blocking the transition. They are asking for donations to help with the transition
Man, fuck them. Hell no, don't
to
get
I
fund it.
involved.
mean,
To fund it.
nigga, you're not trying to fund the transition. You're trying to fund the shit in Georgia, which again, we're not going into politics today,
All
but
right.
we know exactly what the fuck this is, nigga. You
It
don't need
felt
no
like that. It felt like I
like
was like, damn. He pulled the hey, let me hold 5 and I got you. Like
Nah, hell nah,
exactly. I
bro.
got you. I got you, bro.
I
I
seen
got
that.
you.
We're not gonna talk about it, but Cedric Benson, look at his district, cancer rates, pollution. Fuck that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck
uh,
Cedric.
but off topic. I mean, not off topic, off the politics. Because yes, I know I'm tired of it. I know y'all tired of it, and But
You
yeah.
just
For
want a
one
break,
time,
man.
let
You just want a
we can do
break for a week
some
or
of
some
these
shit.
weird social issues that we see out here. Because I saw Megan Thee Stallion release that little rap. I didn't even listen to it.
Oh man, talking about
uh,
good news, man. It was half
uh,
trash, half okay.
I
Half
look at
trash, half okay.
I've been I've been looking at that album on my computer like it is a exam that I don't want to take.
It is. It is. And the problem is that the songs that are good are few and far between, but the trash is kind of like when one song
So
starts being trash, the next like three, you just like, skip,
I'm
skip,
I'm about to
skip.
I'm
I
accepting
told you
as
her
fact.
first album was trash.
All right, look, all of her shit is trash, man.
Not
It's
all of it.
trash.
It's just not
Yes, it
No, no,
good.
no,
is,
no.
nigga.
Remember, for him,
Nigga.
the baby and Megan Thee Stallion are the same person.
Yeah, and people are
Oh,
committing the baby for the our project he just released now because it's the same beats, but they're like, but he's always been lyrically. I
The
ain't gonna lie,
same.
his flow, but his flow is respectable. He's
okay.
not trash as rapper. He's not a trash rapper.
Wait. He's an average rapper with a superior flow.
Yes,
Correct.
yeah,
Average
but
rapper, superior flow.
we that's a big deal because rap voices mean a lot, and your cadence and your delivery. Because like, what's his name? Dude from Griselda, West Side
Benny the
Gun.
Butcher, or what's I gun? Yeah.
I can't listen to him because I hate his voice. He sounds like asthmatic
Freeway,
Ghostface Killer.
I mean,
freeway.
he is an asthmatic Ghostface Killer, but he literally told y'all niggas he's
He
rapping
doesn't rap.
because
No,
he wants to get his brother to stay in the game, and it's like
I mean, but
I can respect a
if
nigga for that.
if if he were to write for people, I think that should be harder. Like if he
Oh yeah,
had
he
somebody that,
should be
yeah,
writing. He should be
yeah,
writing for his
like
whole crew.
Freeway.
Exactly, like Freeway.
yeah, yeah,
Write for his
exactly.
Hey,
crew.
who step in
But
the house to be good?
me and Riker had this conversation slightly in the DMs about some people got a fucking narcissistic complex where they don't want to go behind the fucking camera. Remove yourself, and put somebody that has that it factor in front of that camera and benefit off of them because everybody knows the artists don't make any money anyway. It's the people that's building them up. Like that's why the Dream is so fucking rich. That's why fucking Neo is so rich. Missy, I engaged in a conversation. I entertained a conversation on Facebook with somebody I know from Chicago. She's a barb though, and she ironically lives in Atlanta. And she's got a master's, but she's at that whack ass school out there, so she's not the brightest.
Oof!
Which one?
How dare you talk about that one school like that?
It starts with an S. Striker?
Oh, Spellman.
Spelling.
No,
I
Striker.
know.
Striker. She goes to
Striker.
Strike. She got her degree from Strike or
Strayer
Destroyer, something like that. Yeah.
Strayer
But
University.
I tried. She said no female artist can beat Nicki Minaj in the verses, and I said you need to
No,
Google
that's
Missy
not true.
Elliott. You need to Google
Yes.
Missy Elliott off the bat.
Yes.
And she was
Off
like,
the bat.
Nicki makes the most money. I was like, you need to
No, she
Google
don't.
royalties. Like, no, but that's the problem with
why people just say dumb shit like
nothing. But
Because they believe it.
Barb fans are the same as Trump supporters.
Like Naruto.
I mean, he can't be Goku though.
But can it be Goku? But can it be Goku though?
That's the what they call it, the gold
The
standard
standard.
right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the gold standard. Can you be Goku? And then the people who can be Goku, they be like, but his anime's not popular. It's like the
Who?
nigga can literally
He's the all-time
the
great.
guy the guy who can cut literally anything that lives. And people be
I
like, but his
don't know
anime's
what
not
you're talking about.
popular. And it's like, I mean, you asked if somebody could beat Goku. This guy could beat Goku because he's smart. And he would just be like, hey, Goku, can I try slicing you? And Goku would be like, oh, yeah, cool, let's fight. Nigga would slice
Nah.
Goku once. That would be
I
the
think
end of
I think the only
Dragon
person
Ball
who could fuck with him
Z.
is Saitama.
I mean,
Like popular
Saitama
people.
based on how his character is written, but
Yeah.
the dude who can cut, who can basically kill anything
Right.
living.
What is his name? You don't even know his goddamn name, so we don't care about him.
Because it's been so long since I watched the goddamn anime. Because his
Which
sister
anime?
now, God, I can't tell you off the top of my head. His sister's a really cool one because she can basically kill anything that's supernatural. So like she gets beaten like all the like niggas who use any mystic power. Like if your
But
power ain't from strength or from Jesus, you dead to her.
I'm about to say, but Saiyans aren't from mystical power. That's from strength alone.
Yeah.
And
All
I
that.
know that's exactly why the brother kills any nigga that has a pulse. She kills ghosts and
I
other
want to.
mystical entities. The character here that I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is Shiki Hono, not to be confused with the horror anime Shiki, which I also own. The name of the anime itself, if you want to look, is Tsukihime, and of course, it's a Type Moon product, which is something that would take a much longer explanation. And now I can return you to another controversial take.
I want to commend y'all on the gift of transitions because I ain't gonna lie, that was like a DJ blend. It was so seamless how we got to this.
Yeah, exactly. So can anyone besides Saitama beat Goku's ass? Yes. But
I don't believe
they're
Saitama
niggas
could
from
beat Goku.
whew, hot take.
He-
I
You know
mean,
why? You know why?
why? Why?
I believe that Saitama can be wished away with the Dragon Balls. I don't think he has a power.
Ooh,
His
that's a
power is
good
only
point.
physical. His power is
That's
only
a good
physical.
point. If Goku had Krillin get up there with his bitch ass, then yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They could probably wish him
I
away.
think
Yeah.
Krillin might can beat him, man. I don't. They just like Dragon Ball. They don't wrote themselves into a hole. I don't know if y'all read the latest chapter, but they, like when you start messing with guys and shit, like what's next? I hope they do something weird, like the Demon Realm comes back, and whoever took over the Bura spot is like
Well,
100 million times stronger than the Bura or
they
something.
they said what's his name something Toriyama. Only reason he came up with Dragon Ball Super is because one
Cash grab.
not even just that. It was the fact that the Dragon Ball movie, Dragon Ball Evolutions came out, and he wasn't happy with that being the lasting impression of Dragon Ball because that shit was so trash, and he had no insight on it. He would have been cool. He said he was cool with Dragon Ball GT because he gave Toei permission to do that. So he was cool
He
with
did.
Toei.
And people hated
And
that. And it's like, I
yeah,
mean, looking back at it, GT was actually fairly decent for what they were giving because they actually gave characters some nuance that we didn't get, and by making
Right.
Goku a child for 75% of it, he can't solve the problems anymore. So other
Yeah.
niggas have to step up.
And I mean, and I didn't watch GT till years after it came out. Like I was a grown man. I think I watched it 3 years ago for the first time because I wasn't the biggest fan of it. But I sat and watched it because I was like, I don't even know why I hate this. And it's some mid. It's mid. It's the worst of all three. If you want to put Dragon Ball Z, and GT in order, it's Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball, then Dragon Ball GT.
Then
Only
I
Super,
reason
because
mean,
Super's the worst.
Super
that would, yeah,
Super is
Super is
nothing but
probably
nostalgia.
fourth.
It's
Super is nothing
third
but
or fourth.
nostalgia. That's all it is. It's nostalgia. Like
But
that's
but
why
that's
I
the
don't.
problem is it's not good nostalgia. It's like someone basically saying, "Hey, we're gonna
It
make."
has
Hold
moments.
on, no, it is. It is good nostalgia because we still see those glances. Like everybody got geeked when we saw Ultra Instinct.
No,
We
I'm
got
not
geeked.
saying that. I'm not saying they're not moments, but I'm saying the entire thing,
But
if you think of it, is like you eating a burger and there's a few pieces of good in there, but the rest of it is just boring, bland. Like the
It
problem with
wasn't
Super,
boring. It was
the, no,
confusing.
no, no. Looking back at it, it was boring. The hardest part of Super was the last 15
so
episodes of the fight. The
before
last
you say
15
that,
episodes of the tournament were awesome.
before you finish that thought, are you calling the episodes boring or the original movies that they kind of switched the episodes up a little bit? Because I don't. I understand why they did the episodes the way they did to extend it for season purposes, but I still count the movies as the first two seasons.
Well, you're right, but the problem is canonically, in canon, we have to look at it from the standpoint of we have to go with everything up to then. So you're essentially counting stuff that was better in movie because with the movie they don't have the luxury of being able to say we got their eyeballs for 40 more episodes. They actually have to compact and compress everything, and that makes people one better at what they're doing because they don't have we'll get that in 20 episodes or we'll flesh that out later. Like you have to demand people's eyeballs, otherwise they're going to be like, this movie was trash.
So I think that, and I don't know if y'all read it, the animation is switching to the animation style from the Broly movie. Um,
Which was
and
awesome.
yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah, no, the
also
animation is going to be on point.
I consider the Broly movie to be their version of Days of Future Past, where they are going to level out and give more of an effort. Because that movie was dope. I ain't gonna lie, I like the movie,
Well,
even
it's
though
not just dope. It also brought Brawley into like they
they
took this
canon.
character that they just had kind of just fucked with because they made him understandable.
Yeah,
They fleshed out his character and they gave him a legitimate reason for him to be such a piece of shit. And
and they
also at the end of it, they're like,
He wasn't a piece of shit. He just was angry.
nigga, that's like a
he
nigga who
has
comes home after a bad day and beats the shit out of his
he
wife,
has
but he just had one.
PTSD. You respect his PTSD as a veteran. I will not let you speak ill of Broly.
Okay,
And
Broly's that nigga who came home from war and beat the living shit out of his wife, and you're like, but bruh, he saw his captain lieutenant die in front of him. But it's like, bruh, he still beat the shit out of his wife, but he saw his captain and lieutenant die in front of
bro,
him. It's like, I'm not saying that's not bad. I'm just saying that does not justify him beating the dog shit out of his wife.
I feel like they gave him a way better background by the way they structured it. They made more sense of it, and we saw more insight in the fear of him and what the whole power structure of his power level. Um, but
True.
I I mean I dug it. If this is what they're gonna change the series into, then I'm all for it. I mean, we ain't gonna see it for a while. In all honesty, I'm just waiting for the next season of My Hero because I don't appreciate them leaving us hanging like that. And they just made Endeavor
Where
look
did
so
they
good.
leave you?
I mean,
And
no, you know where they left us. They left us with Endeavor. They
yeah,
ended up at the Endeavor thing. We haven't
you like
seen Blue Flame become Blue
yeah
Flame.
yeah. If you
I mean,
didn't
I
like
caught up to the
Endeavor,
manga. I like Dobby.
I know that's what I'm saying. We haven't
No,
seen where Dobby's going to take
I
it
won't.
because
I don't have
again, I'm
time to
not
read it.
trying to ruin it for All Might or anyone listening.
Oh no, I'm a spoiler type of person. I don't really care because I'm still watching the BMAs like I never read it or saw it before.
If
Uh,
you don't want to listen to spoilers right now, this is the time to fast forward 5 minutes in the episode. If you watch My Hero Academia, this is your only warning.
you
Okay,
don't
go
read
ahead.
it.
Hit it,
I
RB.
wasn't gonna. No, I don't like giving people spoilers.
No,
I,
I wasn't gonna do
no,
it.
I don't mind.
tell him about
I
how
like it.
Dobby beat that ass. Tell him about how Dobby beat that ass.
I'm
Wait
not
a minute, which
doing
one
that.
is Dobby? Which one? I haven't seen it in a while. I
Dobby's the
mean,
guy with all the scars on him, who has the fire, who you
oh
only
yeah,
see
yeah.
like 2 seconds
Oh,
of him.
he gave Endeavor the business.
Oh, he gave that
Oh,
man the business.
Jesus
I don't
Christ.
think you've read it.
But no, I didn't read it. But like, I don't have time to I don't have time to read shit anything that I like right now because I'm actually still in class and I'm in
Okay.
accelerated courses.
It takes
Uh,
like it takes about you about 50, 60 chapters behind. So man, I don't. It's
damn.
actually it might be 100 chapters behind now, ain't you? I don't know
Yeah,
where they
actually,
stopped
yeah,
at.
because the problem is they were going to do My Hero Academia this year, so we would have caught up. But then they had to push it back to next year, so we're gonna be probably 120 chapters behind by the time they finally start, and then we're gonna catch
And
up and get about
for
50
this,
chapters
So
in.
do you know anything about Dobby?
I mean, I know who he is and all that, but I mean, they never really flexed his power or nothing yet. You know, he's still a mystery and how strong he is.
If you had to guess, what do you think he's related to?
Which character he relates to?
Yeah.
Villain or hero?
Shoot. I mean,
Either.
he's yeah. Go ahead.
Shit. From how cool he's been and whatever, I would say that he's probably one of those people that got a secret story as to he's been waiting to fight All Might. And he's pissed off, so he looks up to All Might, and All Might did something to slight him, or he's been hurt, which is why his scars are a certain way.
Those are burn scars. Let's just say his brother's Todoroki. Let's
Oh
just leave
shit! Oh, oh,
it
oh! I can't wait to tell my girl. She gonna be laughing.
there.
She loves
Yeah.
Todoroki. She's obsessed
Everyone
with him.
loves Todoroki. I don't know why.
I mean, well, no, the reason people love Todoroki is because he's a guy who has a legitimate beef with his dad, who also evolved and didn't do the whole "I'm a little baby bitch, I'm still mad at you" from something you did a long time ago. Like he actually was like, you know what, you're trying, and I should accept that as growth. Like it's hard to be mad at a character who shows growth. Even when he failed the thing, he wasn't mad at anybody. He was
I
like, all
think
right,
his nonchalant demeanor, but his discipline that he's not cocky, but he's not like
oh yeah,
he's
he's
not
he's
shy.
literally one of the smartest, and one of the toughest heroes, and he still is pretty cool as
You
far
know,
as like
one
his
thing they
personality.
did that I enjoyed that they didn't turn Bakugo evil. I
Yeah,
really
I
like that.
actually
'Cause-
I appreciate that because it gives
yeah,
more depth to his character because it showed that he wasn't going to be the cliche. I can't be All Might, so I'm going to be his worst enemy. Like he's more so holding Midoriya accountable.
yeah.
Well,
Like
yeah, that's where they ended up taking the character with. It still doesn't excuse all of his childish bullshit from earlier, but it
that's
shows
white
a more
privilege.
nuanced character.
That was just white privilege. Come on, you know what that was.
I mean, I know it's a white privilege, but people like, especially fangirls, they'd be like, "Oh, Bakugo." I'm like, if any other nigga did this, y'all would be crying, "Rape, rapist, rapist here." It's this
Oh shit.
literally the anime version of that nigga who had the tattoo on his face, who was in London that all the girls fell in love with because he was light skinned, and then come to find out the woman who he met on the outside, he cheated on her in like 3 years, which is like, come on. He's only like
You talking about
super
Williams?
fucking famous. No,
Williams?
no, no. I don't think his last name was Williams, not
I thought
Jesse.
you were talking
I'm
about
talking about
Jesse.
I'm talking about the criminal. Like people said, he was like one of the
Oh,
hottest criminals of.
oh, that nigga
Uh,
with the green eyes. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, the nigga with
that
the
nigga
green
was
eyes.
gorgeous. I know hating. No.
Hey, it takes a real man to admit that. You got to know.
Hey,
I
you know
mean,
what I'm
look, the
saying?
nigga had the right facial structure. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is
Man,
that
I wouldn't fuck the nigga, but
women were
I'm just
sitting there
saying
like,
I can see what they talking
I'd
about.
do anything for him. And then he got with,
You
I
ever?
forget which rich heiress he got with, but he got with one. And then people were like, I'm so surprised that he cheated on her. It's like, but would you bang him? And they're like, I mean, it depends on what day it is. If it's Monday through Sunday, yes. It's like,
Okay,
so you would
no
bang him.
homo.
Okay.
I'm about to ask a weird question. Yeah, this is transition, of course, at this point. So when we see stuff like that, you see a guy, you ever be like, okay, I see why they fuck with him. That's what I'm saying. But somebody like Lil Wayne, I was like, I don't get it. I mean, I get it. Of course, I get it. But they used to be like, he's so fine. I'd be like, Lil Wayne was fine. Lil Wayne was fine. That nigga
They
like a
they
little
said
bird.
that they said that about shit. Which nigga was it? When girls say Young Thug is fine, I'd be like,
Bro,
Are
I
you
don't get
looking
it.
at the same nigga?
but here's my addition to that. Read, fame and money makes niggas attractive because Flavor Flav had over 10 bitches chasing him, right?
Okay,
Twice.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I
that was
get that
crazy.
part. But like, this is what I'm saying about that nigga. Not saying that he was attractive. I'm just like, okay, I get it. I see where y'all coming from. But like, that's like that nigga Idris Elba. I don't. I just see a tall, dark skinned nigga who's French. I mean English.
He has an accent. He
Or
has
But
an
that's
English
Michael.
exactly what
accent.
they love about him. It's like,
It's the
oh,
English
he's so
accent.
English. He's so English and he's tall,
Or
dark,
Michael
and
But
B.
no,
handsome.
no, you
Jordan.
know what? They loved him when he was Avon, not Avon. Yeah, was he not Avon?
I know you're
I
talking
can't
about.
Str-
remember his. Yeah,
Stringer Bell. When he was Stringer Bell, they loved him.
Yeah.
But even
He did.
Michael B. Jordan, he just look like an average ass nigga to me
Mike,
who go
all
to the
right, look.
gym.
Tell me I'm not the only one that sees this. Why is Michael B. Jordan walking around with the fucking frog chin, man? Like, I see that. He has a frog chin.
I'm
I
saying
don't understand.
I don't get that one. You know, he got voted world's most sexiest man. I'm just like, I ain't trying to hate on the nigga. Oh, nothing like that. I just don't see that. Like when they
Well,
gave
no,
it to
I
Idris,
see what it is. They couldn't give
It's
it to
the
Black Panther, so they gave it to him.
they honestly he is the most popular, and they're going off aesthetics and momentum, man. Because
even
who
he looked like
else?
an average. I seen that nigga before. That's what I'm
Yeah, but
saying.
I
Like
seen all right, put it like that. I seen that nigga before too, and I seen that
yeah,
nigga before with all the bitches.
no, he was. I can imagine him being in high school. The nigga who, let's say, maybe
No, he
played.
was, but he
I
was
want to
funny
say who's in the
looking
band.
on the wire. He was funny looking on the wire
Yeah, when he was
when
a
he
kid. I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
imagine that nigga in high school and he's like the clean cut dude who's somewhat popular, but not the most popular.
Look,
You know
Correct.
what I mean? Like if we was all in high school with Michael B. Jordan, we could give a couple people. What would be Michael Jordan be? He would be upper tier, but not lower tier, like not too far from the
he'd be the
middle.
nigga that's cool with everybody and got
Correct.
yeah.
And I
But
hate
Yeah.
to call out
He's not
niggas.
that's the
prom
dude.
king.
That's the nigga.
He's
But that's the
on the
nigga.
football team, but
But
that's
I
that's the
don't
nigga
even
you
think
gotta
he's
watch
on the
out.
football team. He probably played
But that's the
basketball or the
that's the nigga you
wrestling.
gotta watch out for though. That's the nigga that you don't expect to do nothing, and you feel comfortable with him around your chicks, and next thing you know, he done dang dick them down and shit.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
You had a
exactly. I
whole
get that part.
stable, and this nigga been through your whole stable, and he be telling you things that they like, and you be like,
He
"How do you know that?" And he's just like,
he
"Oh man, you know the women they just talk to me."
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but as a
I
person,
tried to
he
be that
seems
nigga.
genuinely cool.
I tried to be
He
him.
seems,
I failed horribly.
yeah, he seems genuinely cool though. Like I would fuck with the nigga.
I
Like he
mean,
seems like a down to earth person.
I mean, I respect the fact that he has his family lives in the house with him and everything. I think he's one of those people that know where they are, like, because his family raised him to be an actor. They sent him to the fucking acting schools and shit. Like
Yeah,
he was built for this life. Like they raised him for it, and then they protected him because they were the ones that managed him. And I appreciate the way he
Yeah,
came up
they were
because
smart. They were a smart
yeah,
family.
I appreciate the way he was brought up. Granted, when he said shit about black women like he did, like they turned against him, but they still love him.
what did he say?
When he
The
said he
truth.
actually preferred white women.
Yeah, I mean
I mean,
he
but
kept the one. I give it to him. He kept the 100. He was like, "Look, for these reasons, I would prefer white women." And people got all up in arms, and it's like, I mean, do y'all
Okay.
see what circles
So
he's hanging out in? I mean,
yeah,
I hate
right.
to tell you this, but the good-looking black women that are single and available and not bad shit crazy when you get to Hollywood fame status are few and far and in between, or they're super young and you'd look like a creep dating them.
let me add to this though. I have a cousin who is he's only like a year younger than me, younger too, but we grew up on opposite sides of Chicago. He didn't grow up in Chicago. He grew up in the rich, or middle class, suburbs and shit. And he never grew up around black people. And he's 33, I think, 33, 34. Never been with a black woman a day in his life.
I mean, but I don't think
You
people
can't.
looked at. Oh,
They
hold on. It
don't
was a
look at it.
post I had earlier. Hold on. Did I share that post with? Hold on. That kind of goes back to that post. Hold on. Let me look for it. I think I
Go
shared
ahead.
it.
But
It
the
was
thing is, I mean, while you look for it, they get mad at that, but I can't get mad at them because I understand. Like they're like, oh, he don't like black women. It's like, but he only knows white women. Like he's only been around them, not because he chose to only hang around white women. That's where he lived. That's where he's around.
Well, that's
So
the
granted,
nature versus nurture argument. Like
yeah,
the nurture is that he's been nurtured around white girls. So, he's seeing the people that he's hanging out with, he has more in common with them because they have the same things in common. That doesn't mean that he shouldn't like fly Nubian queens. But if all he's seeing is Becky's and Sandra's and all that shit, I mean, it is what it is to a certain extent. I mean, there's more than enough black men who are out here, but y'all want a ready-made nigga. And as we said, 2 podcasts ago, you can't get the nigga making $100,000 because that's only 9% of the general population. So
and
you're looking for a black man who's a
mhm.
percentage of a percentage, who also makes this specific thing and also looks good. And I mean, I'll take it as something that I saw on the Roommates podcast here while Reed finishes up and gets ready to make his point. A lot of y'all are in the 50th percentile and you want 90th percentile dick niggas. I'm sorry, but if you are a nigga who
ooh,
is making only a little bit of money, and by nigga I mean woman in this case, if you're a woman who only is making a little bit of money and who's not in shape, you don't deserve a nice nigga. I'm just sorry, you don't deserve it. If you want a
yeah.
nice nigga, you got to be in shape and you got to make money because at this point in time, y'all said y'all wanted feminism. So guess what? It's half. You need to come with your half. If you don't have your half, then you need to get back to the back.
or you have to be
A super
actively.
submissive women, not with these
No,
chicks,
no,
man.
no, no. What is wrong with you? No, no. I'm talking about the ones that are actively working towards becoming a six-figure earner, and I'm not
Yeah,
talking
but
about
No, they
she ain't
the
working
gonna be able
toward
to give
application.
you the
degrees.
time. She ain't
They
gonna be able
working
Like,
to give
toward
you the.
degrees.
well, I
Yeah,
mean,
they
but
get
you
degrees.
know which professions actually have it though. That's what I'm saying. Like, if they're
Oh, we
going,
know, but
yeah,
again, black women have a lot of degrees, and that's great. But
I'm not
degrees
talking
don't
about
equal money.
business. I'm not talking about an MBA, all right, or a business degree or
An
communications.
MBA? You mean
Yeah,
a
but
massive waste of money?
that's pretty much what they average going for. But kind of just to get back to the
But
point, same
but
thing. Go ahead.
but what about from RNs to PAs to doctors and some lawyers, because obviously lawyers don't make
But
that much until they get assigned to a firm with clientele that is
Oh,
viable.
and make partner because people always
Yeah,
forget the 6 years where you're basically in there with the paralegals and all of
yeah,
y'all are getting paid shit together.
yeah. It's like that's a
be
misconception about
honest
that.
with
And
yourself. Like she ain't nobody give you as much pussy as a bitch trying to be a. A bitch trying to be something
you
basic.
find
I
you find
mean,
that meme you was talking about?
oh yeah, of course I did. I was waiting on y'all. I'm just saying,
Oh,
like, if her time is taken away from you, then that matters to a man too. Because I mean, unless you just gonna cheat on her regardless, it doesn't really
I
matter.
mean, some of these niggas, they just gonna cheat on her. They're gonna be like, hey, she ain't have time for me, so I got,
I,
Becky from Walmart, and you know what
I know
she does.
niggas that start relationships with the intention of cheating immediately afterwards.
So this week they
Go
had
ahead,
the
Ari.
Gucci versus Jeezy thing, and they had a picture of Keisha Dior and a fake picture of Gucci's wife. And I watched all these black women comment. Of course, they hated it because Jeezy has an Asian woman, and I just thought that
She
was
owned
so
half of
interesting.
Atlanta.
I mean, all of them niggas claim they own half of Atlanta. Then they put up this fake stat talking about Jeezy only owned 2 properties. It's just like y'all don't understand when you got that much money, you don't buy property in your name. That just show how stupid we are.
Right, you buy it underneath the fucking trade, the corporation or the LLC or
Correct.
whatever.
Exactly. And then you
I'm
pay
not
your
saying
son.
it does or doesn't. Correct. I'm not
I'm
saying he
tired.
does or doesn't, but I just saw that around here. Like he only got 2 properties. It's like we
We
don't know that. You can holdings.
But that's a few years ago. And he owns plenty of businesses, but nobody knows it. And he didn't say which businesses they were. It's like because they find out it's me, they might not do business with me. And I respected that. Like he was talking about he owns KFCs, fucking department stores, this and that. Like he was just saying, and I respected that because that's how I would move. I'm not gonna get an active part of your day to shit on
I
what I'm
mean, pretty
doing.
much. Because
So
we don't
And
like to see each other successful
yeah, we don't.
as
We
we
don't
claim we
at
do.
all.
that is the brainwashing of from slavery and Jim Crow to me, because we on some small extent, because like shoes, I actually got fascinated with why we like shoes. Like I like shoes. I had a shit ton at one point, mid 20s, and then for half my collection, I had like up to 300 at one point. I
Shit.
put half my collection up on eBay, and I pretty much I kept on the ones I wore that I actually like compared to just time, and the motherfucker sit in the closet. And I, early 1900s, whatnot, nice shoes was a form of prestige, and we wanted to prove to whites alone to where, yeah, they call it. We've made the shoe industry a $1 billion industry.
Correct.
That's blacks doing that, regardless of what anybody says. And dancing and hip hop always goes in one, the same. But
But I
True.
do a lot. I do. It was something I picked up from Riker. He calls it people watching, of course. If you
that's the
anybody who
dopest shit in the
watches
world.
this podcast, go to the mall or the most rich, like the richest mall in your whole district or house or whatever neighborhood. I was in this mall in Tennessee. I forgot the name of it. It's a fairly rich mall, I guess, because they had all Louis Vuitton stores and all this kind of stuff. The same people who was walking in these Louis Vuitton stores, I would look at their shoes, their clothes, and all this kind of stuff, and I was just watching them. White people love them some damn New Balances and Skechers.
Yep.
Black people all wear Nike and all kind of shit, but white people New Balance and Skechers. And if they did have Nikes, it was those React 270s. Just the basic $100 shoe, if that. And like those, y'all know the New Balances. We call them the dad New Balances. White men love those shoes. And I was
They
just looking
do.
at it, and this was like a month ago, and I was just watching people do stuff. And the women, of course, did it a little different. But women don't have to wear brand name shoes, so I don't know what the fuck they shoes
They
were. But
wear like they go to like fucking what's those little cheap little stores in the mall that's
I
like
don't know.
famous footwear and whatnot, and just these are cute and just walk out.
Yeah. They
I
just
mean,
grab
that's
them,
what I've been
walk
on.
out.
I don't. I mean, I got some shoes I like. Like I wanted to buy those 13s again when they come out in December, but that's just what I never bought them my whole life, and I always wanted the patent leather 13s. And I was just like, okay. And if they out and they 250, I'm not gonna buy them. But when they like 175 in January, I might cop a pair because I wanted those since I was a child. But besides that, I'm like most shoes, I buy them if I like them. I bought shoes from Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, uh, Nordstrom Rack, and Foot Locker. I rarely go. If I go, it's gonna be on the clearance site, and I'm not paying over $70, $80 for some tennis shoes, unless I really like them. I bought a pair of James Harden shoes, probably
I
last week.
hate that nigga. I ain't
I
buying
love his
shit.
colors. His shoe colors, they're so amazing.
I
He
don't
got so
like. I
many
don't
colors in his shoes.
as
Oh, him as a
a
person, no, no.
no. I mean, not even as a person. He's a fucking idiot. He's literally like an idiot. You can't talk to him about anything that's not basketball or strip clubs. But I
Oh,
just don't
I
like his
mean,
game.
that
Like
sounds like a personal conversation.
no,
Oh,
as a hooper, because I didn't play on any teams, but I was just like the nigga that always like street hooped, and I
mhm.
literally see myself fighting that nigga if he ever hooped with us. Like I don't like the way he plays because I would
I
square it up with his
I
ass.
don't think he plays winning basketball. I think people love him. They're like, he's a top five star. I'm like, I don't.
That's
He
what
just look like
confuses
he's
me.
selfish. It's
That
the
confuses
media.
me about.
The media's trash, bro.
But hoopers do though, or they I know they're like a fraternity, so they don't like talk bad shit about each other unless there's like real ill will towards each other. But I'm like, how y'all gonna sit there and say this nigga is this or that when you can obviously tell he ain't about nobody but himself.
He don't play
Eh,
winning basketball. I mean, that's the
no,
truth of it.
and then I want him to go to fucking to the Nets because that's gonna fuck that whole team up. And I hate Kevin Durant.
Oh, whoa. Kevin Durant can play basketball.
No, I know that, but I hate Kevin
Oh,
Durant
okay.
because I was an OKC fan. I was a big OKC fan. I felt
Oh, okay.
betrayed. I was betrayed, nigga. I
I
ain't
mean,
gonna lie.
but these teams will trade their ass.
I know.
I'm in the middle. Yeah.
I ain't talking about him leaving. I was just talking about him going to the Warriors because I hate them niggas and I do not feel sorry for Clay. I don't care. This was the same nigga talking
Clay
shit
seems
when he
like a
had
good dude.
no, when they had that nigga was a very arrogant, loud talking nigga when they had a stacked roster when they start winning. And the reason I say that is because I was living in the Bay Area when Steph got fucking drafted, and that was Monte Ellis's team, and
Hmm.
the transition on. So I watched them. I known them. I didn't have a problem with them before, but I'm one of those people. I'm gonna keep that same energy, person. You was talking shit when y'all was, you had KD and everything, and y'all was, easy wins, and y'all got quiet. It was like, yeah, well, everybody hurt and everything. But that nigga Steph Curry was on record saying, "Oh, well, it's not our fault that everybody got hurt on this team, or people did this and did that." But they want that same fucking empathy card when they got hurt and everything. So I really do believe in karma. I will say something fucking crazy, but I won't do crazy acts because I believe the energy to come back around. So I feel like everything that's coming to them is that energy they put out. Yeah, you that fucking baby face shit, and you got the perfect biracial light skinned family and everything that they tried to move LeBron's. Like they tried to move LeBron's family to the side for this family because this family is way more
The
American for them.
LeBron family ratchet as fuck, bro. We don't talk about that.
But they don't want a brown skinned family out there.
They don't
They
want
don't
brown
want.
skinned men up there. Period.
Yeah, but and they
Correct.
tried to replace him, but they tried to replace him with LeBron, and the thing is that
And he
ain't that easy.
deserved it. He kind of
No, he
deserved it.
doesn't. No,
Who
he didn't.
Steph at the
Steph
time?
didn't deserve it. No, he
Steph,
didn't.
man, at the time that
That
nigga
nigga
was
ain't even
balling,
won.
bro.
He ain't never won Finals MVP. You let
Man,
Iguodala snatch that from you, nigga. Like,
bro.
come
But
I
on.
mean,
that's
look, he deserved it though. He deserved it though.
but that Finals
Look,
MVP is slick overrated, and you and I
and
both know it.
you ain't even the fucking aggressor in your family because your wife is out here telling niggas what it is. And
But
then
she's
she starts saying
Canadian black, so she got her own
she's
issues.
Canadian.
Yeah,
Oh, that explains everything. Never mind.
yeah,
I
she's
take that
fucked
back.
up
Explains
in the head.
everything.
That
Yeah.
explains everything.
If you ever
He,
like Steph to me, bro, I think that nigga is underrated. But hey, you don't believe so. If you
I
just
don't.
look at what he can do, I believe that
I don't.
he's a better player to me than LeBron.
I don't believe that either because you can take a. All right, this is why I don't believe that. Not because I'm a
Okay.
LeBron fan, because in that whole argument of take LeBron out and put one of these other niggas in that place on those Cavalier teams.
Okay.
That's why. It's just like Allen Iverson. That's why I like LeBron maybe because I was the ultimate Allen Iverson fan. And it was like this nigga took a YMCA pickup squad to the finals.
Okay. Now using that argument, he kind. It depends on which LeBron we talking about. We talking about after Miami LeBron or before Miami
I'm talking
LeBron?
about each Cavalier LeBron. I'm not talking LeBron, Miami LeBron at all, because that was
Okay, when he came back, any team that was in front of him, that was his fault. So I don't want to hear nothing about no pickup team, none of that, because he chose those players, and you know it. he chose those players.
I'm not knocking why they won, because ain't no way in hell that you should, with a team with Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Steph, and all that, y'all supposed to win.
I
I'm
don't give
not
a fuck.
knocking that.
Jordan, I believe Jordan would have beat him. I don't give a fuck.
I don't look. Don't get it twisted. Just because I'm from Chicago, don't mean I'm a Jordan fan.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
you
not a
know,
Jordan. I just think
don't get it twisted. Derrick
I
Rose all
think
the way, but you know,
I think LeBron has that thing when you can beat him. If he feel like he's lost, you're not gonna get
I've
his all. They act like he
before.
does, but if he feel like he gonna lose, he gonna lose. Because he don't did a couple things we don't talk about. Right before that first time they played the Warriors, or was it the second time they played the Warriors with Kevin Durant joined on that team?
Second time.
No, the third time. That was the third time, wasn't it? The third time.
The first
Or the
time it
second.
was without Kevin Durant. That's when they
Okay.
won.
The second time.
No,
Okay.
no.
But
The
you
first, yeah.
remember they had just beat the other team. They were about to go to the finals. And I remember him and Kyrie was sitting in the locker room. And they was like, what you think about playing the Warriors? He's like, man, I don't even want to think about that. He went into it with a losing mentality. So I don't give a fuck.
But
When he
all
lost,
right, Reed, because I know way before y'all even knew who the fuck I was, and I was just a listener. You hate LeBron. I already know that.
no, I don't hate LeBron. I think he's overrated.
I don't think he's overrated. I think for the most part that he is exactly what the media made him and people made him, because he didn't ask for y'all to follow him with cameras around since 2000. He went to high school when we was in high school.
Yeah.
Correct.
So you put him in this forefront and you made him this. So why
They
is
did.
it because he owned it? Like when I say you, I mean the media and the world.
Yeah.
Why
They did.
why are you mad that he owned up what you made him, and then now he
Okay.
starts to act privileged? That's why I like that last
It's a
commercial he
couple
made.
things. And don't forget that. Remember, he had that broken hand thing. Well, after he
Correct.
lost,
Hey! Remember when Michael Tyson? Like not Michael Tyson. We don't call him Michael Tyson. Remember when Mike Tyson said, "I broke my back. I got a broke back when he lost to Lennox
My
Lewis."
back is broken.
Right? Like nigga, I'm not gonna give you any leeway on this, because you a great when they lose ain't gonna let you say, "Yeah, I lost." They ain't gonna say it. They ain't gonna say
hey,
it.
hey,
They
it
ain't.
is. I mean, we see Trump ain't conceded anyway. Let's even say that. Okay, and
You
another
call
thing,
him a great? Oh,
they
I'm
call
leaving.
him, they call him like the greatest social justice, but he's never done anything for people. He does
LeBron.
that thing that white Democrats do, where it's
LeBron.
all, yeah.
Do you believe it?
No, yes, I believe that. What has he done? The
I mean, the
Trayvon
school
Martin
alone
thing, he
is
wore a
enough.
hoodie.
The school thing enough is enough for me.
The
Just in
school,
Ohio, the I Promise
Imagine if
Academy.
Kanye did that. If he
okay.
Oh
changed
my
these kids'
God!
minds.
If
So
Kanye
you
did that,
saying, he
look
did
at
the
the
school,
program. But
or
it's
did
his
you
money.
say
It don't matter.
no?
It's
That's
his
not his
money.
goddamn money. That's not his money. It was his
I bet you.
foundation's money.
Okay, but
Yeah, but
it's his name.
again,
It's him.
he wouldn't have the foundation if he
Yeah.
didn't have a name.
If
That's
exactly,
Nike. That's Nike's
it
money. I'm
doesn't.
telling
But
you,
you can't.
that
Okay,
was to
But where
soften
it
the
comes
blow.
but
from, where it comes
yes,
from
Where
is
it comes from
irrelevant
matters.
the
because
idea came from him.
yes. And
The
even if
idea
let's
came
say
from
the
him.
Did
idea
it?
didn't come from him, the
Did it?
only reason the
Okay.
school is a thing is
Okay.
because a rich nigga put his name on it,
All
and
right.
most rich niggas won't even do that.
Yeah, I was about to say, even if it didn't come from him, he co-signed whoever's idea it was. They gonna put the
The
fucking most
school,
marquee
in
name. They gonna
my
put the marquee
opinion,
name on it.
the school was built so it softened the blow when he left Cleveland the second time.
So it's better than just leaving
Eh,
it distraught.
exactly. Like this
But
is still Cleveland.
Look what
that's
that
a lot of
economy
credit for
suffered
him.
when he left. Look
That's
at
a lot of
the
credit, but that's not a real thing. Like he has $1 billion
dude.
right now.
But
He could do so much more.
He
okay,
could.
all right.
Okay.
But why are you not holding every other player that makes that kind of money accountable? Because he's not even the highest
Every
played.
other player, not him. And that's just the truth
Yeah,
of
but
it.
they have a voice. They have a platform though.
They
That's the
don't have
thing
the
that's
same
different.
voices, and his voice louder than all of them.
No. The reason why is because he keeps talking.
I mean,
Correct.
he the one talks about. He acts like he's this social justice warrior. They
But
want that to be his history, like that make him better than Jordan. Or, as
what's wrong
far
with
as
that
I'm
though?
concerned, you're a basketball player
What's wrong with that though? That's no
because he's
different
a
than the
fucking
fucking white
basketball
people
player.
doing it.
Oh, he's a
But
fucking
it's
Yes.
true.
basketball player.
But so is Jim Brown, and yet this nigga is a fucking prolific ass revolutionary. Black
Jim
historian.
Brown, Jim Brown. People hate Jim Brown in our generation because we look
We
back
do,
and
but the
you
generation
know,
prior don't.
yeah, because they saw something and then they realized
This
what he
is
really was.
this is what I mean. This is what. All right, let me put it like this. This is why I will stand with the LeBron James wave, because
Okay.
we need a nigga to walk around with this sense of entitlement to start the fucking trend. We need that, and we need it from a non-Kanye perspective. We need it from a non-mysterious Jay-Z perspective. We need somebody to actually talk, regardless
Okay.
if they vowed it or not. We still need a figurehead.
What I'm
We
telling
need,
you is, if you don't put yourself in a position to lose, then you're really not fighting for anything.
but he has lost. He's come from the worst. I watched the fucking
No.
documentaries and whatnot.
I'm talking about he's never like, okay. Will he put his name on defund the police?
Hell no.
Honestly,
Okay.
but would anybody educated and with that money do that to jeopardize their financial
I mean,
situation?
we can change a different conversation. That's what I'm saying. Like, will he put his money on? Let's say, what? Give me a police shooting. I don't even know. I don't even know
I mean,
because he picked Trayvon, but he kind
I
of sent
think
the black dude in St. Louis.
I think defunding the police is the most dangerous topic to jump on because idiots don't know what it means and they just sticking with it, and intellectuals think idiots mean take all the money from police. Like
Yeah,
nobody actually has an
there's some
open
smart people
conversation
who
about it.
believe that too. It's
Yeah,
really reallocating the police.
yeah, that's all it
Yeah,
means is fucking
yeah.
adjust the fucking budget. I come from one of those fucking horrible. I ain't gonna lie. I experienced the worst education in this country, and I experienced some of the best by leaving from Chicago and then going to fucking California and going to Rancho Cucamonga and Huntington Beach for a year each. I did 2 years of California as a eighth grader and high schooler, and I ain't gonna lie. I felt like I was in a fucking reality TV show, or not reality TV, Saved by the Bell, because it was like night and day. Teachers giving a fuck about my grade, my friends not being my friends because I got a fucking C or a D. Like niggas looking at me like I'm crazy because I ain't doing good in class. Then I take my ass back to
Wow, that's a real
Chicago.
thing.
That was a real
Yeah.
thing. Dead
Yeah.
ass. Like,
Man,
because
we can have that.
most of your friends. But the thing was, I didn't live in LA. I wasn't in that. But even LA has a decent system. It's just the fact that that's all black. I live in Huntington Beach, which was white, Asian, Hispanic, and a little bit of black. And then I moved to Rancho Cucamonga, which was the same demographic but with a little bit more money. And you was a loser if you was a nigga that got bad grades. Even the fucking Crips was walking around with good grades. Like,
Really?
yeah, like, and it was just, I mean, it was weird, but I respected it,
Shit.
and I want
We need to
obviously
get
it's the
some of
peer
that
pressure,
culture here.
nigga. Real talk. I moved back to Chicago, and I'm coming here fresh with the proper vernacular and the S curl,
I don't
and
think
my niggas looking at me like
I don't think we cared about other
that.
kids' grades. The teachers did not give a fuck. I mean,
Well,
maybe
and then it went to hell in the handbasket after all of us graduated. So I feel like to a certain extent they at least got what they wanted for a little bit. And now looking back, what
I
they
but
get
mean,
paid.
I,
it, go ahead.
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
know. I can't even think of a teacher that I can sit back and be like, man, he really cared. And if I
No,
do, it
I
was a
remember
white,
teachers who really cared,
Yeah,
but
like
I
it
had.
like
mostly
Miss
took you to
Kingston.
the
I
AP. Yeah, you had to get in the
Miss
AP
Kingston,
stuff,
Miss
or
No, but
or
Kingston,
Miss Kingston.
I
Miss
remember
Kingston. They're white. I'm just saying they're white.
that too. That
Oh
too.
yeah,
I
yeah,
will give you
exactly,
that. Look,
exactly.
look.
Oftentimes they're whites
Yes,
who really care.
but
The black teachers were showing up for a paycheck.
even the teachers that when I moved back to Chicago and then the south suburbs of Chicago, the ones that cared, they were white. Like in the bad
That's crazy.
education areas. Like I will give you that. Like it's the fact that I mean it feels like it's either the pay or the being overwhelmed with these overcrowded classrooms to where these teachers don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
And
but you chose that job.
Well,
You ever
for
told your
ours, they didn't have
teacher?
an excuse. They had a completely new school, completely new everything, and they didn't have to do like really hard stuff. Like
And it was
we
okay.
named
literally
after
had
fucking
the
Martin Luther
best.
King.
Exactly.
Mhm.
They literally got the whole shebang because they
But
wanted that school to be successful. So they gave them literally everything that we could.
ultimately, like the point of it all to me, I I I just respect what LeBron James stands for because we need that at least. We need that for
I,
the representation. We need the representation of what that type of that fucking authority, not even authority, because he's not an authority at all. We just need the fact that like his commercial said with Nike. I mean, granted, it was cliche as shit, but it was true. Nigga, why the hell we always gotta be humble? I'm tired of being humble. Why they gotta always be humble? Yeah, just like how these white folks want our NFL players to be appreciative that they're allowed to make millions of dollars to play football. Nigga, you are broke. Fuck you. There are broke white people telling rich millionaire black people to be appreciative.
Correct.
there's too many white people, and they'll never. And the black people who are there will never ever get together and do something real. And that's their goddamn problem. It's too many of them.
Honestly,
The NBA,
I
their union sucks. NFL players, they should have guaranteed
mean the
everything, but
NFL.
that's on them. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
NFL players should.
yeah.
They should, but they won't
But
because they got too many white people who they'll follow. Like, oh man, Tom Brady said we should do this, so we should do it, and the niggas will follow right behind them. Like, fuck Tom Brady. Tom
yeah,
Brady don't give
but
a fuck about your neighborhood.
that's because they are brainwashed by the fraternity of it, and in all reality, I honestly wish there was a half and half with from the people that's in fans from spending money because I wish people would stop spending money on this shit to like actually show some show of force. Just like FedEx said to the Washington Redskins, we gonna stop paying y'all unless y'all do something about this name. Like it takes
Correct.
billions of
Enough of them
dollars
niggas.
for
Niggas stop.
yeah.
If they don't
But
play, they don't make no money.
but the
Never.
thing is, if these niggas, these and I'm saying specifically, if these niggas was way more responsible with their non-guaranteed money, they would have put themselves in a position to say we ain't playing this whole season unless y'all start doing shit, more equally. But as you saw from
Ownership.
that, have you ever seen that NFL ESPN 50 30 for 30 broke? Did you see that?
I did not.
It's good. You should see it. It talks about players that went broke over time, like Andre Rison is into the shit like that.
Oh
But
yeah, he fucked himself over.
yeah, but it's more than just him. It's like
Well, yeah, I'm just
Antoine
saying, like
Baker
when you
and shit
mentioned
like
his
that.
name, I was just like, God damn, I
Yeah,
remember that one.
but he
I was
he
like,
owns up to it. That's the thing, though. He owns up to it on that Vlad interview he did. But it's the thing. You should watch that. And I honestly believe these niggas don't do that because they ain't even got it. They living better than us, but they ain't got it.
We
they
I
always say
mean, the
they
thing
shouldn't have
about
gave
it
them
is,
niggas money because they
yeah,
niggas.
true,
They niggas.
yeah.
Most of them niggas in the NFL, if you know a nigga who made it from the NFL, he came from the bottom of the bottom for the most part.
But that's the same thing for boxing. Like, cause boxing niggas, you gotta have that type of hunger, like to where you willing to fight and put your life on the line. And the NFL, they did it back when that show Sports Science existed. The NFL hits harder than any other sport. They had a rugby player, a hockey player, and a football player hit a mannequin that gauged the impact of the hits. And they was like, because rugby players don't wear gear, they hold back. They're not just like they'll tackle you hard, but they holding back because they're naked. Hockey players are on ice and they don't have the same type of momentum and friction. And then NFL players, because they got that cushion and that padding, that sense of security, they go all in. And it's like the equivalent of a fucking Ford F-150 hitting your ass.
You like Russell Wilson?
I do. I don't like Sierra.
I
She's
don't
a
like
fucking.
him.
She's a
that's a
football wife.
hot take. That's a hot take.
Sierra needs to go ahead and just start acting like a football wife because when she was Future's baby mom, she was looking like a fucking dummy. I'm sorry. Like nobody cares about your music no more. You're not that. She has a dope rebrand. I ain't gonna lie.
But
I like
level
the
up,
image of the
level
rebrand.
up, level
Oh
up,
my god, I
level
hate that song.
up.
I just
But this,
I
I always said, man, when it comes down to it, I think Future made more money than him long term than Russell
yeah,
Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
Yes, long term,
Uh,
I
long
don't
term.
think he kept it though. That's the difference.
Oh,
I would say this. Not career money, endorsed money, and everything, and what Russell Wilson becomes after a football player will tell that. Because yes, I believe upfront, Future might have the front end money up better, but the back end will let us know who won that.
I would go with back end, even back end,
I don't
because
know because Future
remember,
already he's a legacy act and he don't own all his publications still.
I think he
He
does.
signed another deal.
He was
No,
in
he own.
the deal and he
They
got out of it.
what'd you say?
Remember,
You
he
were
was in
breaking out.
that one deal with Roscoe, not Roscoe. What's that nigga name?
Rocco.
Rocco. I don't know about his new deal though. I don't know what kind of
But
deal.
no, I'm talking about publishing.
Yeah, I'm
Publishing
talking
for
about his
Future.
publishing deal as of now after being out of Rocco's situation. I don't know what he's
Yeah,
in.
but the thing is, from what think I remember from the other podcast that I'm not gonna speak because y'all gonna say fuck it. um, he signed another major label deal as a legacy act, and he's making money off those last songs, but he doesn't own his publishing. He gets a percentage of his publishing still, but Rocco still is touching on that, just like fucking Ludacris is touching on 2 Chainz' money. Like he does not own it. Believe me, if he owned all his publishing, we wouldn't know because that'd be the first fucking thing them niggas let us know. They are letting us know who does and who doesn't own their publishing. Like that is like a flex.
Wow. The only person I know
So
that publishing 100% is Chance the Rapper off the top of my head.
I don't even
Correct.
know if he owns all his
And
publishing.
the well,
Nah,
no, he owns it. But the problem
He
with
does.
Chance the Rapper is he let himself stop getting hot.
bro,
He
Yeah,
you
wanted
know
to
nigga
that
get
let us
married.
nigga let us know
hat,
what happy
you know that
relationship.
hat with the 3 on it, bro.
Yeah,
Who?
The
that's
first
where he
month that
started.
came out
Oh, hey, fun fact.
6 million.
I know that dude that did the 3 hat. Fuck, what's his name? He went to school with my cousin, and like he's a Chicago artist, and like that, you would even know. Like he's a breakdancing nigga, but like that's a dope ass come up to own that because that's a trademark fucking logo.
That's him.
It's just a 3,
Yeah, smart.
just a
Smart,
3.
yeah. It's just a 3. Just a 3 on there. I mean, again, Chance the Rapper, he kind of screwed himself. But, gentlemen, any final thoughts? Because I think that's a great place to end it out.
Wow.
Fuck them chicks from that other podcast that said gaming niggas don't hold it down.
What's the name of the podcast?
That see the thing is the whack ass hoes that
They basically Joe Budden's friends. And
yeah.
they decided to talk about gaming. And it's like, I mean, just because a nigga game don't mean he ain't got his business together. Well, gaming's a waste of time. So is makeup, but y'all put it on every day.
Bro.
Hot take.
But some of the fucking top basketball players in the league making the most money play the game.
I mean, yeah, but you know, then they're going to say, oh, well, he earned millions of dollars. So the ability to enjoy oneself depends exclusively on how much money one makes. Like, okay, I guess y'all are not gaming and not using makeup because, I mean, if we're going to be on the PlayStation, you got the make-believe station sitting right on your face.
But exactly, and I mean, my defense of that was a new PlayStation costs $500 every 6 to 8 years. You paying several $1,000s a year for Mac and Sephora and whatever other fucking things you got on your face that makes you look like an imposter.
Y'all ever watch women and what they do? Like, they waste their time on other things. I'd rather waste my time fucking being a swordsman and all
You know what? You get more utility on being a swordsman than they will ever get on makeup.
like
You actually could become a blacksmith and get more utility out of that shit.
like the stuff they do. I'd be like, what do women do for fun? I'm just like, y'all watch stupid TV shows and y'all just do stupid shit. And y'all watch niggas drama. Like, the stuff y'all do is just as stupid, but you'll never say it. Because y'all don't do anything. You want to sit in the club and look pretty.
I'm going to have one caveat here. The artsy chicks, they watch artsy stuff and they write and they do drama, that kind of stuff. But that's only like 10% of women. That's 10% of women. The other 90%, I don't know. Sometimes I really be wondering. Because I know a lot of women who watch a lot of TV shows and movies, but can't tell me when the last time it is that they got a raise at their job. But, you know, they don't like that part.
Or they come home, talk about how they hate their goddamn job, but you still there.
Well, it's not.
You ain't looking for no other.
It's like that you're still there. It's like you hate your job, but you don't have a plan to get out. Because I know several women in that thing right now. I'm like, okay, I hear you. You hate your job. A lot of people do. All right, cool. What's the next step? Well,
I would like to work for myself. Doing what?
Exactly. What is your actual skill set? Like, what is it? Well, I'm gonna get a business and I'm gonna be selling things. Sell what? What are you gonna be doing with yourself?
I'm gonna sell hair.
Oh, it's like, okay, all right. So you're gonna compete against the Asians who got that business pretty much on lock. Well, no, I'm gonna sell hair in a different way. Okay, so you're gonna be like every other, third drug dealer who's like, I'm not gonna sell crack. I'm gonna sell marijuana. It's like, nigga, still drugs.
You just hit a fucking. That was like my ex. Like
they don't do shit.
They do hair, do a lash tag, like that whole. I tried to be supportive too. But this is like, how do you separate yourself? But I was like, how do you separate yourself from the pack? Especially if it's all social media based and you too lazy to even make a post every day.
Like, shit, you wasn't making a post a day? Like that's basic stuff if you're doing a business. Right.
If a social media post is all you need to do today to get your shit popping, if you're a beautiful woman and all you got to do is be on social media, why are you fucking not being proactive? I'm done. I ain't gonna go into this. Look, I got somebody else. I love her. She's productive. She gonna be somebody. All right.
I don't get that. I cannot watch Instagram. Like, I don't get that. Like, I just don't get it.
Well, no, watching Instagram is fine.
Bro.
But the problem is, and they covered this on the roommates, the girls who are like, all right, I'll talk to you later. I'm going to watch Instagram for a few hours. It's like, it's cool to casually browse throughout the day. But if you're actually spending time on Instagram like a TV show, it's like, so you're saying your entire life is good, is Gucci. Like your entire life is together, ain't nothing bad happening, everything is great. Because, then browse on Instagram. But if you got even one thing that you need to get paid off, one bill that you need to whatever, then, like, I need a plan here because idle time tends to, go bye-bye. And I know in 30 years, you're not going to be like, and the thing I love the most We said I was on Instagram every day.
Can I ask y'all this? Can y'all not say, or can you say that you would be perfectly fine if all forms of social media died today?
I'll be okay.
I would be cool. Yeah, I'd
I
be
would
cool.
too. I
I'll be
would too.
because like this one time it was like I don't know, like I think it was my sister. I said, I want you to set a timer every time you look at freaking Facebook or Instagram or any of this dumb shit and see how much time of your day you wasted. And on average, she was wasting about 3 hours. I'm just like,
Jesus.
what the fuck? And then I watch women, every woman I ever talk to, they sit on there on Instagram, Snapchat, or whatever the fuck they on, just scrolling up and down. I'm just like, what are y'all looking at? Like, these people aren't that interesting. You know these people. You add them as friend, or they post somebody else dumb shit video. Like, I just, the only thing I do is trolling shit. I mean, and I'll do that
Yeah.
30 minutes a day.
What's funny is I've noticed my trolling has gone down. Like it's just
Yeah,
it's
man.
it got old. Like off from it. It ain't funny, and it's just like, ugh.
And that's the real thing you learn from trolling after a while.
Yeah.
Most people are who they are.
I mean, yeah,
Work on
people convinced against their will are of the same opinion still. So you can't troll. You can't even impart like you can have the whole right answer, and a nigga will literally say that ain't what I believe, and it's like, nigga, we're saying 2 + 2 = 4, my nigga. You can prove this in your house right now. Nah, bro,
This is
I don't believe that.
this is why I personally want Instagram or all other social medias to go away, because
Well, it is the most dangerous.
but not even just that. I want the digital currency and self validation to go away, so people can actually sit back and see who the fuck they really are and what they are and are not worth. Because that
But then
fucking
they're gonna fall into Real Housewives of Stupidia.
I'd rather them do it on TV than to sit there and be on something that
But then they're gonna
occasionally
all try to
crosses
start
my
getting
eye.
on
But
TV,
we
and that's
lived in
worse.
we lived in that world before, because there was stuff on TV before and everybody didn't make it through. It wasn't as crowded. Social media is crowded.
Well, now social media is crowded, but I think the problem with TV now is TV now would just basically become social media on steroids, because once the media conglomerates realize that they can get everybody's eyeballs back in this hypothetical world where social media goes away, they're literally gonna just start pandering to just stupid shit, and it's
But
gonna
Riker,
become
but the thing is, that means the people that are going to basically nature takes its course, natural selection takes its place, and you don't run into those people that you have unpleasant experiences with or even converse with them as often as you did now, because they are in the house watching TV, while the other folks that actually have a brain and the capability of fucking critical thinking actually step out, and they slowly, not even slowly, they eventually taper off of that social media talk. Like that did you see this meme? Did you see this? Did you see that? They actually have to hold a conversation away from that. Like, that's one thing that I can say I liked about this podcast with you guys. The conversation ain't all social media. It's touched on, and it tapers off into actual everybody's ability to talk and hold a conversation.
We take topics and like from random
Yeah.
groups that we're all in, but overall, like I don't spend enough time on social media to talk about it. The only thing that kept catching my eye was that Gucci versus Jeezy thing, and I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I didn't watch that shit, but I
I
watched.
didn't watch it.
I
I
didn't
you
watched
watch
watch
it.
the
that shit.
reactions.
I
Yeah,
didn't even gonna lie. I was pressed like I did for a second. I only watched two moments. The thing about the house and like, well, he said let's have a jewelry competition. He said let's have a uh, retail companies or whatever. And then the other one was something about when he was talking about he killed them or he killed this homie Pookie. I did not watch the whole thing. I just felt like they weren't gonna get 5 hours of my life. I'm sorry, 2 hours, however long it was, to watch these two niggas who don't give a fuck about me nor you. To listen to their music. And if I had to go versus which one I like better, I like them both for different reasons, and that they're not really comparable. And like once you draw that conclusion, it's just like, I mean, who cares? Yeah, y'all stupid.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it. I like Riker said, I watched the reactions because
Yeah.
honestly, I felt like it was pointless nigga shit.
I
Because
mean, yeah, that's basically what it is. It was like people being in high school again, because you can
yeah,
see that on social media. People were reacting to this like approval of Gucci or Jeezy was going to make them money, And it's like,
No,
nigga, y'all
you
taking
just
this too seriously.
you just made me have an epiphany. Like you literally, and I know this ain't like a revolutionary one, but social media is literally just nobody is leaving high school, and the people that have, they revert back to high school. They're not active on it. They are actively active on it. Like they went back to their high school ways.
I
It's true.
put you team Gucci or team Jeezy. I'm team me, nigga. What the hell you talking about?
Nigga, look, I mean, what does it do to my bank account?
And let's be honest, both of them niggas fell off. Really, like
I ain't gonna lie, Gucci. I'm tired of Gucci dropping music. I ain't gonna lie, like
I mean,
nigga,
it is,
He
but
says, "Stop, nigga, stop,
stop, like
stop it."
bro, yo, I skimmed through it. I'm like, yo, shit, look, Gucci, you there? You're getting royalties, residuals. Honestly, you need to remaster the shit that you did on the mixtapes to make money off of that. Because if we had that shit without the fucking horrible volumes and the horrible fucking levels on top of the DJ talking, you would make millions of dollars.
This nigga said, just give me a remastered version of your greatest hits."
Real shit, or billions. Like he has $1 billion worth of music that is it just needs to be re-recorded.
and I
But
hate
I
calling
know
it stupid.
being
Like, but that y'all are stupid. Y'all are
it
fucking.
is, it is.
This
I mean,
is,
and
and I'm
I
not
want to be
above
the
y'all or beyond reproach, but I'm just like, dude, y'all gave them way too much. Like the day of, I get it. It's like talking about sports because don't get me twisted. I love sports. Football on right now, and I'm not watching it, but I did check the scores. But my dad said something to me that revolutionized my life. Reed, never sit there on your ass and watch grown men play children's games. I fucked up. Either way,
that,
what
that
I'm
resonated with me better though.
It
it
did,
did
it did,
well.
it did. I felt it was good. It was
Like
good.
don't like, and I get it. Like sometimes if I am doing completely nothing, I'll sit right there, watch like 15 minutes of a basketball game, and that's it. But checking the scores, I get the same excitement as watching all 7 games.
Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, this calls the podcast to an end. I wanted to end and begin it with R. Reed because I felt like he did such a great job with his impersonation and he gave such stellar advice here that I definitely want to end out on it. But definitely, please follow us on Twitter at EVYD Black Men, Instagram at Everyday Black Men, and the Everyday Black Men Facebook page. Of course, the website is coming soon, and we'll have some wonderful announcement for you guys very soon, very soon. So keep your ears and minds open.